welcome back to the channel. It's Bob, and today I'm going to show you my favorite photos and gear of 2023. Stick around and let's dig in. Hey everyone, and welcome to the end of 2023. I know we haven't spent a whole lot of time together yet, but hopefully that'll change in the future going forward. What I wanted to do is do a quick recap of 2023 in photography for me. Just a quick overview of what type of gear I typically use when I'm out and about, and really just my top couple of photos that I took this year. Some photos that really had something special that really meant something to me. So I guess, let's dive in. So the first image I'm going to show I took in Chinatown in Ottawa, Ontario. And this is one of the shots that made me fall in love with medium format. Just the depth and the three-dimensionality. To me, it was a photo that really felt like you could reach inside of. So I have this photo of the lion, as you can see. And then I have a photo of the back of my wife's head and my friend Rob. This photo in particular is the one that got me addicted to medium format. To me, it looks like you can reach right into the photograph and just relive the moment. And isn't that what photography is all about? The camera that I took that on, you've all seen before. It's my beloved Mamiya 6. This is probably my favorite camera that I own. It is so small when it's folded up. You can almost fit in my pocket. And just the sharpness of that lens and the depth that you can get out of it. This is a keeper. This is never going anywhere. This is my go-to camera. I've even taken this one on a vacation, and when my fully automated 35mm autofocus camera completely failed on me, this one just kept trucking, and I just kept taking photos with it, and it was fantastic. So, Mamiya 6. So the next two images were both taken with the Hasselblad 500C. So just about everyone's seen a camera similar to this. This is the Hasselblad 500C. Got the waist level viewfinder with a special diopter that matches my prescription so that I can use this without glasses. So I took the photo of the hula girl with this camera. I believe I had the 50mm lens, which is significantly larger than this. This is the 80. And this was a crop out of a much larger photograph. The actual photo was square 6x6, just like you would normally see. But because there's so much detail in the negative, I was able to just scan the section that I wanted, which was this framing of the hula girl in the rearview mirror. And this is one of my favorite pictures that I've taken this year. Also with this camera, I took the black and white photo here that I've just kind of given the working title of Reflection. This was taken in Lowell, Massachusetts on Kodak Tri-X 400. And yeah, when I took the shot, I didn't think that anything was even going to come out. It was so dark in there, and there was so much difference between the dark and the light outside. It was a super bright day. But the Kodak Tri-X did the job, and it's one of my favorite photos of 2023. Moving on, the photo of the incoming storm. I don't remember the name of the town I took this in, but it was somewhere in the lake regions of New Hampshire. And I took this on my Plobel 69W Proshift. This camera, I haven't taken a bad shot on this camera. The only shots that I've taken on this camera that were bad were just not exposed correctly. The way you shoot this one is it has this coat hanger for a viewfinder and this little tiny dot, and you line your eye up and use the cable, and that's how you shoot this. This camera has a Schneider 47mm 5.6 lens. I got this camera at the Vermont Center for Photography. This actually used to be Peter Miller's old camera. He is a regionally famous photographer in Vermont. He's known for his black and white portraits of Vermont farm life and farmers, and just check out his work. He's fantastic. But knowing that, it's also interesting to me to know that I'm probably the only person to have ever shot color through this camera. So this image here, the incoming storm, when I was there, it had been a bright sunny day, and you can see off to the right side of the frame, there's a lot of brightness, and you can really see that on the left side of the frame, just how dark it was, and it was genuinely dark. And what I love about this camera is the lens is so wide, and it's a 6x9 negative, that the vignette that this lens produces really lent to that dark and menacing feeling that I got from those clouds coming in. And just, wow, what a, in my opinion, what a great shot. You may not think so, but it's one of my favorite photos of the year. This last image was also shot on the L69 Proshift. This image was actually on the same roll of film as the previous image that we looked at from this camera. The fact that it's in black and white is really just because I did convert it in Lightroom. There was so much lens flare and contrast problems that the colors were just completely gone. But in black and white, I really think this image works. And you can see that I really had to shoot this image top down. You can see we have the starbursts on the sun in the right-hand side of the image. And for me, I always love it when that happens. This next image is probably my actual favorite shot of the year. And it's really just because it's a photo of my wife. I love it. But it turned out to be a double exposure. It was not intentional. It was really because the camera I was using, I didn't know what I was doing. It was my first time ever shooting it, and I just got lucky with how it came out in development. This photo was shot with a Fuji Flex Model C. I no longer have the camera. The biggest problem that I have is because I wear glasses, when I would look down into the viewfinder, I just wasn't able to focus accurately on the camera. Most of the rolls I've shot with that camera were a little bit soft because my glasses are a little bit soft. So let that be a warning to anyone who wants to shoot through a waist level viewfinder camera. If you do wear glasses, you're going to need to wear glasses when you shoot. As far as the image goes, this was taken in Almont, Ontario, actually on New Year's Day of 2023. Some friends of ours from the camera club all decided on New Year's Eve that we were going to meet up in this little town. It's a beautiful town. It's actually where a lot of the Hallmark Christmas movies are filmed. So that's kind of Almont's claim to fame. But it was just a wonderful day with some great friends. And yeah, so this was a double exposure. This next image that I have is actually a photograph I've been wanting to take for a very long time. This photo was taken in a house that I actually used to live in, and this portrait of Jesus was just outside of my room for my entire lifetime, as far back as I can remember. And I was able to finally get the opportunity to take this shot. I shot it on another one of my favorite cameras, mostly because it's a folding camera, but a little different from the Mamiya 6. This is my MCKA 67 from Plowbell. So you can see the bellows there and just folds up. So compact and tidy. So I had to use a cable release on this image because it was about a 2-second exposure. This film was Lomochrome 92. I'd never used it before. Sometimes we find ourselves in a situation where we're not sure if the film that's in our camera is the correct film to actually shoot on the day. But I really got lucky with Lomochrome 92. In 120 format, it's fantastic. It's a grainy film. I don't know if I'd care for it in 35mm, but on a juicy 6x7 negative, the color rendition is exactly what I wanted, and it really brought out the tones in the oak paneling, and you can really tell that this space was not a bright space, but the photo came out exactly as I wanted. This next image I just think is cool. Serena and I were fortunate enough to go to New Hampshire International Speedway and take our cameras, and we got to speak with some track safety officers, and they basically gave us all the access we wanted. We got really lucky, and I did not shoot film that day, but what I did do was I brought my Mamiya 645, and this has a Phase 1 P30 back, which is an older back, but I brought a couple of lenses. This is my 35mm that I use for really wide shots, but this image was taken with a 210mm lens, so you can really see the compression when you look at this image. This image just makes you smile every time I see it. I was right there on the pit row, and I got to lean against the wall, put the camera up, and feel like a professional photographer for at least an afternoon. So, Mamiya 645 digital, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So in case you haven't guessed, the Hasselblad got a lot of work this year as well. This image is really one of my favorite images that I think I've ever shot. This image was shot at Salisbury Beach in Massachusetts. It's a nighttime shot. I love nighttime photography. I think this was about a 4.5 second exposure on the widest lens that I have for the Hasselblad. So this image was actually shot on expired film. It's Agfa Optima 400. I got it from a wedding photographer in Montreal who's kept it in his freezer since 2007. I absolutely love the beach at night. I also play in a band, and back when we used to play the beaches at night, we'd come home at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and just the feeling of the beach when everybody's emptying out. You can still smell the salt air and hear the ocean. It's so great. And this 5 flavors delicious sign, it's just iconic. And Salisbury Beach is not a big beach. It doesn't have a lot of attraction. It has a really small strip, but to me this image gives that nostalgic feeling, and I love it. So that about does it for my 2023 wrap up. I hope everyone enjoyed taking a look at these photographs with me, going through the gear and getting to see the cameras behind the images, and also to learn a little bit about the thought process behind some of these photographs. In the upcoming year, there will be a lot more video to accompany the photographs. As you may know, this is a new channel, so I haven't been shooting video very much up to this point. But I wish everyone a happy and safe 2024. Definitely let me know which of these photos, if any, are your favorites in the comments. And you can follow me and check me out on Instagram as well. I'm Photoprendy. See ya.